Hey everybody, welcome back. So, in the last episode we talked about baleen whales and went to an adventure, and we read up on, we listened to Rio tell us a story about how a princess was saved by a phoenix. Was it the king of the phoenixes, Suzaku?
Mm-hmm.
We actually did look it up between videos, and Suzaku was, a bird in Chinese legend that made it to also Japanese legend, so I wasn't too far off. But anyway,
Yeah, it's a fiery bird in Chinese and Japanese mythology, and it represents the south in the constellations.
yeah. So, and then we talked to Deal, and he hinted at something interesting that Wit said. So we'll have to see if we can find out more about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not okay. We're not going to an S rank fight. I think I'm just gonna actually go to another. I think I'm just gonna go back to the ruins to see if we can find out more about that plaque we read.
Back into the ruins.
Because I'm not sure if talking to Wit. I don't think Wit will talk to us. So if we just go and confront him, I'm pretty sure.
Well, and at this point, it's all hearsay anyway. I mean, really, we've got the word of a known bad guy saying that Wit's a badder guy.
Well, this. It's funny that I still remember some parts of the game we haven't gotten to, but other than that, it's kind of fuzzy by this point, because I've only beaten the whole storyline for Monster Rancher 4 once. I have played it several more times, I just didn't sit down long enough to finish it. I'm pretty bad about that these days. I don't seem to finish games anymore.
It's interesting. My wife will start TV shows and games and other things, and then just like put them down after a couple of hours or a couple of episodes or whatever, and be like, yeah, whatever. I'll get back to it later.
Yeah, TV shows I generally finish, unless it's just bad. But,
Well, I just get a laugh at it because I'm such a completionist. I'm like, no, we started and we're 2 episodes into this 7-season show, and we need to finish it.
You're like, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. The guy from Big Bang.
You got me?
Sheldon, sorry. Thank you, Helper. He has to sit there and spend days debating if he wants to watch a TV show, because he has to commit himself to watch the whole thing if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I can't identify with that at all. Definitely don't. Totally don't read up on shows, look for the reviews, see if they ended on a good note or a bad note.
Yeah, I just watch until I've had enough.
Yeah, usually I'm the sort that I will almost always nowadays wait for a TV show to have ended its run on TV before I start watching it. That way I can read the reviews about how it ended. That way I know, is it worth my time to watch it through the end, or just skip it altogether and not worry about it.
I just don't watch much TV now that I think about it. And when I do watch TV, it's silly things like House Hunters. I like House Hunters. Even though it's, totally rigged. And they've already bought the house before they even go hunting for it on the show.
Wait, what?
But... Oh, should I have commented that out?
No, now you gotta tell us.
No, now I feel kind of bad. No, we had some friends that got on the show. And so the way it worked was they had already bought the house. And then what they did was they found other houses comparable on the market, or, houses owned by friends, and recorded it, and then included the house they had already bought, which is why it always solved the mystery on House Hunters. They always got the house. Because on shows like My First Place, they don't always get the house. And I was like, I wonder how they managed this at House Hunters. So I always just assumed they didn't air it if they didn't get the house they chose.
Yeah, that's what I
But
assumed too.
it's actually the reverse. They already have the house. But, it's funny, though, because it makes a lot more sense now, because my mom's theory to House Hunters was they always picked out of the 3 the one that, matched the least amount of requirements. And she was always right. And I guess it makes sense because, if they're going to pick houses that aren't even for sale, like their friend's house, of course they're not going to pick that one, So... But... I don't know. I like that show. If no one knows what I'm talking about, it's on the... HGTV channel, Home and Garden TV or whatever. It's pretty much a show where they find a family that's looking for a home in an area somewhere. They list their requirements, and then they show 3 houses, 1, 2, or 3, and then you're like, oh, which one are they going to choose, 1, 2, or 3? And you're like on the edge of your seat in suspense, which one are they going to pick? when I watch it with Helper, we'll always pick one and then give the third one to our dog, and the dog always wins. So. We always said Rhodey was really good at House Hunters because he always picked it correctly.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of Chopped recently. And thankfully there's a lot of episodes available for free online legally, like via foodnetwork.com.
Yeah.
And then between like that and Hulu and Netflix, there's like, I don't know, but there's probably like 6 or 7 seasons worth online. And so yeah, we try to pick each round, and I'm apparently very good at it. I probably get it like 80-90% of the time. Just from the production cues and stuff.
Now you'll notice there's a treasure chest over there. The only way we could get that is if we had a monster that could fly across like a dragon. Becklons, I believe, can also fly.
You can't swim across?
No, I can't swim across on Gary's back to go get it.
Not Gary's back. I meant on, like, if we had a Lesion.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure you can only fly across.
Interesting.
Running into walls! Whoosh. I kinda wish they'd make another Monster Rancher game, but I come to the conclusion they're not making Monster Rancher anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's a mix of a few things. I think the biggest reason they're not gonna make anymore is actually because so many people just don't have CDs anymore. A lot of people are getting downloadable games and stuff these days. So I wouldn't be surprised if they realize, you know, a lot of people just don't have them. You know, because when Monster Rancher first came out, they were like, oh, you know, PlayStation games, CDs, like music CDs, computer games. You know, and how many of my viewers have actually seen, like, a CD-ROM for a computer game, you know? Most everyone downloads stuff these days, and I think that's their biggest reason they're not going to make any more Monster Ranchers, which is a shame.
No,
even if they took the DS route, but...
No, you see,
what?
The thing is, in the game, the mystery discs, they're ancient, right? Now
Yes.
in the real world,
they're also ancient.
They're real!
Yeah, because on the DS you can do different things. You can, like, talk, or, you can talk into the microphone, and it'll generate a monster. You can scribble a picture. I can't remember if there's another way to do it or not. I can't remember, but, you know, they could do something like that. Like, if they wanted to go to the Wii U, that'd be kind of interesting, but I kind of get the feeling these days it's just, with all the competition out in the market and stuff, I don't think people really have the patience for a slower-paced game like this, unfortunately. I'm kind of curious on how Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to hold out.
I don't know. I mean, you know, the genres kind of come and go. Is it gonna?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. You know, I'm going to take the time right now to actually talk about. I've had several viewers. I think this has come up about a dozen times, asking me why I'm not just using an emulator to save me some frustration, or to get another PlayStation. This is a PlayStation 2 game, and yes, I do own PlayStation 2s, but they don't record well. The technology I'm using, like, it worked well with my older technology because they were kind of on par with each other, but my newer recorders don't work well with older technology. One of my recorders does, and one of them doesn't. And unfortunately, neither one really work well with the PlayStation 2. And it's taking a risk, as you've already seen. I lost the memory card. That's a risk, you know. And I'm kind of taking a similar risk with having the virtual memory cards, but I am backing those up. And I am using a hardware emulated PlayStation 3, which could be a part of my problem here. Because these now loading problems happened to me even back when I was playing on the PlayStation 2 when I was a kid, and it's probably just, you know, giving me the same problems. I bet if I did the software emulated, it might not have this problem, but I just don't like emulators for a lot of reasons. My biggest is I don't feel like the game is real to me. Like, when we played Suikoden 2, we had so many problems with the sound driver. I don't know how many sound drivers did we go through before I could even find one that was decent?
I think it was 16.3.
we went through quite a few, and I never felt like the sound was portrayed correctly, like it should have been. You know, and it's small things like that, because I know how the game is supposed to feel and sound, and emulators never really quite work for me in that way. And and then I worry about things like, for Earthbound on the Super Nintendo, they actually programmed something where if you tried to copy the game illegally and play it, they actually had a failsafe for this, where the enemy amount would actually increase by 10 times to make the game insanely difficult, and then purposely crash right before the final boss, so you could never beat the game. And so it was to keep people from pirating Earthbound, and I'm kind of concerned, oh my gosh, ever since I read about that when I was a kid, I've always been kind of concerned that something like that's going to happen to me in these emulators. And of course, by now they've gotten far better than when I was like in high school and stuff, and when these were emulators and ROMs were first being made. But I am always kind of afraid of that too, something like that happening, like somebody put in something to the ROM that wasn't real to the game, because people do that all the time. They'll hack their own ROMs and they'll put something in that wasn't really part of the game. And I would rather have to deal with this nonsense than an emulator and a ROM. I mean, the only way I'm going to go back to them is if I want to do a 3DS or like a DS game, because I don't know how to record my Nintendo DS. That's just because I have no alternative. But there you go. That's my long drawn out reason, because a lot of people have been asking me, and I just been replying I don't like them. So now I'm giving you a real reason on why I don't like them. There you go. Those are all my reasons. And of course, I don't trust a lot of websites. I don't know how many viruses people have littered in that garbage. So,
Golly, yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it. I would rather put up with this than taking a risk with viruses and who knows what people have hacked into the ROMs and bad sound drivers and, and the only time I'm going to do it was when I have no choice. Like, I have the Commodore 64 emulator. Well, that's just because I don't have a Commodore 64. So anyways, I know this was not the most exciting video, but we will go back to this adventure in the next one, I promise. So, or I'll just attach it to the end of this one. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back, or most likely, from 5 seconds ago. Let's go ahead and try this again. Oops, I didn't realize I was already talking to him. Whoa, and now I'm talking to Puddin'. Okay.
So, like I was saying in the last video / at the start of this video, when we left off, whenever it was. How long ago was it? I don't know. Game genres go through kind of a fad cycle type of a thing. So it's like, JRPGs were huge a couple years ago, and now they're still around, obviously, and they're still very popular, but they're not at their height anymore,
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get down to it, it's kind of like game dev story, really. If you make the same game too many times in a row, they get on your case.
Unless it's certain types of games like Suikoden.
Well, no, I'm going to disagree with you there, because if they pumped out, 16 Suikoden games in a row, I'm willing to bet that you would get tired of them after a while. That you would be like, it would be better if they had put out 5 games and had higher quality than 16 games of average quality.
Yeah, but Suikoden itself is the definition of high quality, so you can't have a low quality Suikoden. Oh, I take that back.
I was going to say, are you really going to stand by that statement?
Tier Crisis is still better than so many other games I've played, so I am going to stand by that statement.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, even for 3 and 4.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes, 3 and 4 is still better than a lot of other games I've played.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't think that you have a strong case going here. 3 and 4,
although
I really enjoyed playing 3, actually. And I know that one gets kind of dumped on a lot by people. I really liked it, but I also had a Smappy guiding me through the game.
I liked it, but the problem is a lot of people like me were so used to 1 and 2, and 3 was a little too drastic. The storyline was great. The execution, not so much. And 4 was the other way around. The execution was generally good. The storyline was just so dang confusing they had to release another game to explain it. And it's just like, they were still good games. I would still rather play Suikoden 4 than most other RPGs out there. So, but yeah, in the genre, I think the whole reason we started this conversation was because of Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know, I'm just a little worried because I love Pokemon, I really do. I'm sitting here, Actually, I'm not wearing a Pokemon shirt today, but I'm sitting here with an Arcanine doll and a Gumi blanket, you know, playing Monster Rancher. But, I'm kind of worried that because it's their 20th anniversary, a lot of people are going to probably hype it up a little too much. I don't know, it's kind of one of those, I feel like no matter what they do, it's not going to be good enough for the masses. I'd be surprised. And I feel like they always try something new, and they have hit or misses, like with Heart Gold Soul Silver. I think they had a great hit with the Pokemon following you around. That was like freaking awesome. You know, and I feel like they did a good job in Black and White with the animation. That one's still got my favorite animation out of all of them. In fact, I'm replaying right now. Well, not right this second, but and I think X and Y was really good with the fact that you could, you know, change your character's outfit and go shopping. I know that sounds kind of funny, but it was actually something else to do besides just training and fighting. You know, you can go and become popular in the town and buy cooler clothes, and it was fun for me to actually focus on something else for a little while, you know, in between the fights and everything. And I feel like they have a lot of misses, you know, too, with like the Pokemon musical makes no sense, and it's frustrating that some Pokemon won't even go to the musical. Like, I liked the Pokemon Ami thing, where if you love your Pokemon enough, you get benefits from it, which I really benefited from, since I always have the same team. I don't keep switching out my team constantly, like Helper does. But at the same time, it was also a little frustrating, because they only had 3 mini-games, and I got sick of playing those 3 mini-games over and over and over, so it's kind of like, it was a good idea, but not well executed. So I have no idea what they're going to do, and I kind of wish they would put all those good things together. I wish they'd keep the system where you could change your outfit. I wish the top Pokemon that was first in your party would follow you, and all that. I wish they could keep all that, but they're probably going to add something else that's totally different, that they don't want to repeat themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah. And you know, by doing that, it makes me want to go replay certain versions. You know, like, I love playing Black and White because it's got my favorite storyline and my favorite animation. Of course, it's probably also the only Pokemon game I can claim that has a storyline.
No, Team Rocket was in that one, and then there was the Team Galactic.
Well, they all have plots.
Galaxy.
But the thing I like... Hello, game. Can I not search this water? I guess I can't. It's weird. You know, the thing about Black and White... Okay, let me go back. The thing about the other games is you start the game, you know, get out of bed, you go to the professor's place, you get started Pokemon, they say fill the Pokedex, that's your goal, have fun. You know, and the ironic thing is I've never filled the Pokedex. Yeah, I've never done the one goal they tell you to do at the beginning of the game. And they're like, oh yeah, but to do it you have to beat the gyms. No, you don't. I mean, technically I don't have to beat the gyms. You know, I only have to if I want to progress with the storyline. But, you know, if I were actually, you know, this trainer, you know, in real life, there's nothing that's saying I have to go beat these gym trainers. Well, in Black and White, the bad guy, or I guess I guess I should pronounce it for English. I don't know why I keep saying but he actually states something to the effect of, you know, if you want to try to defeat me, you have to become champion. And in order to become champion, you gotta be... So he actually kind of gives you a reason. I don't want to say much in case my viewers haven't played it for any reason. I don't want to give too much plot away. And, you know, but he actually gives you this ultimatum, like, you should do it. And I think that's one reason I liked it. And there was actually stuff that was interesting to talk about. You know, it wasn't just I want to take over the world. I mean, other plots were going on. In fact, the plot was actually enough to sustain a Black and White 2, which continued the plot. So I kind of hope they go back, because in X and Y, they went back to the Joker. They kind of went back to the whole, we don't have a real plot, just go do whatever, which made me sad. Oh, come on! I use square. I never use square, you mean butt face. Kinda does have one, doesn't he? Haha.
That wasn't a nice thing to say about him.
I don't like jokers. They kinda creep me out.
That's a speciest stance there.
Gary obtained 4C. No, I think 4C is actually good.
Does it, like, increase your ability to dodge or something, or what does it do?
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of hard head because I don't think we have any moves really that use the head.
Except
We have a
the-
lot of tail attacks and beam attacks.
Huh?
We have a lot of tail attacks and beam
Oh,
attacks.
this is Gary, not Calb. Right.
Yes, this is Gary.
I was like, excuse you, I can think of like a couple things that use the head.
Oh, a yarn ball! I wonder what color it is! I ordered so much yarn online. Helper's always wondering why I keep ordering more and more yarn.
Did I tell you that we beat Yoshi's Woolly World?
Yes! I'm a little jealous. I need to go back and finish it.
And then we
I'm
went
being
back.
too-
Well, no, we went back and started completing some of the world, but we actually haven't like beaten any of the special levels in each of the worlds.
I've been playing a lot on my DS recently because I got Super Mario World on my DS. I went and got a new 3DS, and then I got Earthbound. And I've been watching GameSmith's LP as I'm playing. And so far, he's already done all this stuff. There was only two things he did that I didn't know about. The beginning of the game, you can actually trick the system into not giving you the Sound Stone at the very, very beginning of the game. I didn't know that. So if you want to save an item slot, you can kind of trick it and not have the Sound Stone. I personally like it because I like to listen to the sound all the time, but I thought that was interesting. And then later on, in one of the cities, he talked to somebody, and the guy was like, I hid an item in one of the hospitals. And he went and got the item. I had never talked to that guy, and if I did, I never apparently got the item, so I went and got this. It's actually called Insignificant Item. I don't even know what it is. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And I've only watched up to the same point that I played, so I don't know what this item does, but I'm so curious. I want to know. But I actually just got to Saturn Valley, and I like that place, so I've just been hanging about Saturn Valley. I'm just amused by the fact that I can play on my Game Boy.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome how some of these old games are coming back out again and getting re-released.
I think the only other Super Nintendo game I really want to release on the 3DS is Super Mario RPG, and then I'd be set for life, so...
I'm trying to think, because like a while back I think I owned legal copies of like every single game like in my top 30 or something like that. And I'm trying to think if that still is true. Or I shouldn't just say that I owned. That I owned
Oh no! It's a Jack in the Cho!
That I owned copies I was capable of actually playing. It's probably more important to say. Because obviously it's like, okay, it's one thing to own a copy, it's another thing if you actually have a system that can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through my list right now, but I think there's gotta be like one or two old Mac games on here that I can't play anymore.
I can't believe I
Because the
just
two
did
that
that.
used to be the troublesome ones were Total Annihilation and Master of Wonder 2.
Yeah, we can play Master Brian's Hero Go games.
Yeah, and both of those have been released on Good Games. And the copy on Good Games for the Mac version of Total Annihilation actually had issues with it, with the DOSBox port. And I figured them out.
Speaking of Master Brian, we need to play around at some point.
If we
We
do,
haven't
we gotta
played in forever.
we've got to get like either Wolfganger or like see if we can rope my wife into that or something like that, and
Yeah.
do a split screen 4-way thing, and like that way we can have some fun with the editing on it.
Yeah, Wolfganger, if you're watching this, we need to play some more Master Brian so Helper can take your planet and sell it out again.
Well, no, wait, how did that go down? Like
I don't remember.
there was something like I think we've.
Oh, I don't think I can go in there.
We've talked about this before, but yeah, it was something like Helper captured Wolfganger's
I
planet.
think he like stole a planet and tried to barter it to you or something.
Well, he did borrow it to me. Like he like stole Wolfganger's planet and then like declared war on you. And then you were like, well, those are undefended planets. I'm gonna go capture those for myself then. And so like you sent your massive fleet out there, but you and I are allies. And so right the turn before you arrived to take all his planets, he sold them all to me, and like I gave him some worthless technology and got some planets out of it.
Yeah.
And so then you arrived at the systems and you were like, oh, my ally owns these planets, not Helper. And I was like, if you attack those planets, I'm going to declare war on you. And you were like, well, dang it, Icon has the best technology. I don't want to declare war on him. I can't fight a war on 3 fronts.
Yeah, I'm awful at that game, but it's still a lot of fun.
Well, and that was the one too, I think, where I was playing the spy, and you hadn't realized yet that I was spying on you and stealing all of your
Yeah,
technology.
I was so cheesed.
You were pissed. Can we see that?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we said that on here. Yeah, you were not happy when that finally came out, and I was like, "What? No, I have no idea what you're talking about." And then you finally figured out how to look at what technologies other people had. And you're like, "You didn't have that technology a turn ago, and now you have it, and just had it stolen."
But speaking of good old games, I actually just got Day of the Tentacle, the remake. So I wanna record it since I did Maniac Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
I think the remake had voice acting. I haven't actually downloaded it yet. I just got it the other day.
Interesting.
Which is nice for us.
Yeah, you get to take a break.
Yeah. I was thinking of doing a couple other voice acting games. I was like, I need a break.
I was about to say, I found a couple of games that I was like, oh, those are SNES games. I don't actually have an SNES. Then I remembered I played them on Virtual Console.
Oh, it's a Coconutty! I like Coconutties. They're plants of parts Hengar. For some reason, they just amuse me.
It seems like a weird name to call like a robot plant.
But it looks like, I think it's because it looks like a coconut.
Yeah.
If you use your imagination.
Are you accusing me of being unimaginative?
Yes.
It's too much to handle.
And your wife comes bursting in. Why are you crying?
Should take advantage of Google's mic drop feature.
Uh-oh. Long, deadly hallways.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that startled me, actually. Like, right at the end of your dun, we got attacked. Oh, it's a Xanet's part Zoom. I almost said... No, it's, Color Pandora. Why did I say Zoom?
I don't know.
It was green, so I thought Zoom, and then Dino, and then I was like, no, it's really Color Pandora.
Okay, so I found some games in my top 30 that I actually cannot play. One of them is Super Mario Galaxy. Which
Really?
I thought
That's
I owned.
a Wii game.
Yeah, it's a Wii game. I thought I owned it. For the life of me, I can't find my copy.
Well, I don't have it.
No, I know you don't have it. Or at least I didn't suspect you had it. Anyway, I don't know
I
what
stole a lot of other games, but not that one.
I don't know what happened to it. Wait, you stole my games?
No, just kidding.
That explains where Beyond Good and Evil went.
I don't have that one.
I actually don't know what happened to that one. I think one of my old housemates probably borrowed it at some point and I never got it back. Ribbon for PC, like the Myst sequel.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
I actually just found a copy when I was cleaning up my storage room. I found a special edition copy of Myst and Riven.
Huh. So Riven is number 11 on my top games of all time, and I don't actually know that I have a copy I can play right now. I guess I have copies like on iPad and iPhone and stuff. But
yeah, as I say, but not
it's
like the original.
Yeah, they are the original game because the original game was such a simple game by today's standards. But still, it's not the same playing on an iPad. And then otherwise, let's see here. Contra. That's really the only one I think that I truly cannot play.
Contra's not on the Virtual Console?
To the best of my knowledge, the original Contra that was released for NES... I say original. The original console version of Contra that was released for NES is not available in any modern format that I'm aware of.
Really? Well, they just released Super C for one of them, I thought. You'd think they'd have Contra.
You would think that. And I haven't checked this situation in a couple of years, so it may have changed in the last few years. But to the best of my knowledge, that's the case. I have not heard any updates on that. The version of Contra that does exist on modern consoles is the arcade version, which was the actual original version. So, like, the Xbox Live Arcade version is the arcade version. And I picked it up not knowing that distinction at the time. And I started it and I was like, this isn't the game I love. This is a different game, and it is. It's like a game that's designed to just like suck up your quarters, and it's way more punishingly hard in not good ways, and it's not nearly as good. And so I was like, oh man, like I really want the NES version, but without actually busting out an NES, which I don't have, and the old cartridge, I don't know how to do it. So
You can get a Retron, which is a fancy emulator, but...
Yeah, no, the Retron's an emulator.
Really?
No, I mean, are you saying? Oh, you mean it's a hardware emulator? Is what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is technically okay. But I mean, you use the original cartridges, so
I meant the console itself is like a really big fancy
Yeah, that's
emulator,
true.
but
So
the cartridges are legit.
yeah, so I guess yeah, you're right. Technically, it is an emulator, but it does not use ROMs. It uses the actual hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, or rather, it does use ROMs, but it's the legit ROMs as opposed to ripped ROMs.
Yeah.
I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna let you talk.
I don't really have much to say. I mean, I think all my favorite games, which, you know, my top few favorites I have, like King's Quest 6, and I still have my actual 3.5-inch floppy disk for King's Quest 6, and then I still have the original CD version I got for King's Quest 6. And there's a difference, because they only say SMAP in one of them, and I think it's the first CD version is, I think, the only one they say SMAP in. Because I'm pretty sure the disc version doesn't say it. I can't remember. I know one version. I know they updated some of the text when they went to CD, and I'm pretty sure it's the CD version that has. I can't remember, but let's see. I have Suikoden. Obviously, I have several copies of Suikoden 2. Yeah, people hate me when I like go to these old vintage game stores and ask for a copy, and they're like, "Do you really need a copy?" I'm like, "No, I already have like 5. I just want another." And they give me this look of death, you know, like, "If you already got like 5, why do you need any more?"
You never know where it's gonna get a scratch.
Yeah, and I got Colonization still. And I actually found, when I was cleaning out my storage room, I actually found my original Commodore floppy disk, my 5-inch floppy of Grandma's house.
Nice.
I didn't even know I still had it. And the nice thing is, when I packaged it away, I put a piece of cardboard in there with it so the disc wouldn't bend.
Good thinking.
But I was real excited when I found that. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I still had that. I don't have a Commodore 64 to play it on, but that's okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, there's a couple of these on here that I've had updated. Like, Maverinthia was kind enough to gift me a copy of Ikaruga for PC on Steam a couple of years back.
Yeah.
And so I have that. I previously had the GameCube version of it, which is not quite the definitive edition. Apparently, the definitive edition that you must have is the Dreamcast edition.
Speaking of Maverinthia, I need to give a shout out that Maverinthia has definitely been one of our loyal viewers since the beginning.
That she has.
Thank you. Always correcting us. I was actually rightfully corrected on when I said NIS created when she corrected me in NIS published. So I was like, yes, good correction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she fact checks us on good stuff. Like, she's very.
And
thorough.
I think she's got the most points on my channel by quite a bit.
Surely, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to shout out.
Did you hear that Atlas got bought out?
No. By who?
Sega.
Please don't. Oh, okay. It's not EA.
Oh no.
I was saying anyone but EA.
I don't know. I heard it yesterday before April Fool's. It might have been an April Fool's Day joke that was posted early, but I think it was legit.
I have no idea.
Now I'm gonna go look this up.
I like April Fool's jokes that are obviously jokes. You know, I don't like the ones that are like trying to trick you. I know that sounds kind of silly. Like there was one year, I didn't realize what day it was when I saw it, because I didn't see it till a few days later, that somebody was announcing Suikoden 6, and it was an April Fool's joke, but what happened was I didn't check it on April Fool's, so when I saw it, and I didn't look at the date it was released, I got real excited, and then I got really angry when I figured out it was April Fool's. Now, you know, jokes like, you know, election insurance, that's obviously a joke, and it was really funny, so...
Okay, so Sega, this is legit, it was yesterday, it's published on all our websites, so Sega completed the Atlas acquisition and is now going to be publishing all Atlas games.
That's probably not a bad thing, though. Sega's not bad.
No, Sega actually doesn't seem like a bad fit. It looks like there's... This is mostly going to be a change for people in America. Maybe just America. it looks like elsewhere they're going to keep publishing with whoever it was previously. It's mostly just going to be Atlas USA, I think.
That makes sense, yeah. I don't know. NIS used to be one of my favorite publishers, but I feel like all they care about right now is Disgaea and Hyperdimension Neptunia, which I just don't like. Because every time I go check their website, it's some tactics game, Disgaea, or Hyperdimension Neptunia. I was like, what happened to... And then they make Atelier games still, but they're not as good as the originals, and it frustrates me. I don't know. Makes me kind of nostalgic to play a... Monokemia or something. I still can't believe somebody got my Monokemia reference back on the montage of failure video. I thought that was going to be one of the hard ones.
That was almost immediate, too.
Yeah, it was the first one. I was shocked, and I was just like... I actually had to read it twice. I was like, there's no way. No. That was supposed to be one of the hard ones.
You clearly don't know your audience very well.
I don't. I'm very proud of my audience. I'm also surprised that one of the Final Fantasy reference was actually referenced in one of the main game. It was first shown in was not actually referenced. It was referenced in one of the other games it played in. So I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have played Chocobo's Dungeon, and that song is in Chocobo's Dungeon, but that's not the original location that song debuted. You know, they like to reuse tunes a lot.
So at this point, have all the songs from that video been guessed?
No, actually. I put in a really hard one, and I was going to give like several points if anybody got it. Of course, nobody's gotten it. And nobody's actually gotten the first one. Like, people have told me the game, but they haven't told me the boss. And I'm like, come on, really? Necklord was a pretty easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it was the second song nobody's... at the point we're recording this, nobody's gotten it, and I'll eat my hat if somebody actually gets it, so...
For reference, we're referencing episode 46 in our Let's Play of this series.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet, it's a real nail-biter as you watch us fail over and over.
over and over. Yeah. I debated real long and hard on whether or not to cut most of it out, but I was like, you know, I want my viewers to suffer with us.
That's a touching sentiment, really.
Like how GameSmith constantly cuts out unnecessary footage, like all his fights and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, my viewers gonna suffer with me.
I think... I'm trying to think what I would have done differently, if I had done anything differently, and I suspect that the way I would have done it is like a supercut, where it's just like... KO, 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 KO.
You know, I debated about... One thing I wanted to do was just to have the KO, and then I was gonna cut in the scene where the banner on Dark Souls 2 when it comes up and says you died. I wanted to put the banner at the bottom, but I was having a hard time getting Helper to let me record him play so I can get the you died, because I think he must have been insulted in the fact that I was waiting for that just to pop up in 5 seconds. So, it didn't happen, so...
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Tupper play a little bit of the Souls games, and that does pop up fairly frequently, as I recall.
It does. I'll be crocheting, and I hear douche, or no, I hear douche, and I'm like, well, you died. I love it though when he's fighting a big boss or something, and he's like backing up so he can get ready for it, and all of a sudden he falls in a hole and dies. You know, and he's helping somebody else, so 2 other people are sitting here watching him, and he backs all the way up when fighting the final boss of the game and falls in a hole. I'm like, that's gotta be embarrassing. What's even worse is he was running to the final boss and ran off the bridge and died. He wasn't even the boss yet. Oh man, that door looks really, what's the word? Intimidating there.
Ominous?
Ominous, yes. It's an ominous, intimidating door. Whoa, hello. It's a King Tut duck.
Interesting. That's a special.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
What, there's a special...
Oh my gosh, no wait, is he a boss? I just realized that I'm being silly. I think he's a mini-boss.
That makes more sense.
Okay, I was to say, he's way too hard for just a normal...
He is A rank.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. He just, for some reason, I knew there was a boss in this room, but for some reason I thought he was at the end of the hall. That's why it threw me off. Alright, we're gonna kick some booty. Just kinda wanna get a hit in there. Back up. Oh, did I get him? Oh, I did. And the nice thing about doing this is... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, good. Is Calba's regenerating guts while we're doing this, so...
Oh, he regenerates guts too?
Yeah, he should be regenerating guts while the timer is running.
Uh-oh. Oh, no Nirvana.
Yeah, I think it takes 4 misses.
Oh, is it? I thought it was 3.
I think it's 4. Come on. There we go. And we win! Yeah, we're awesome!
Ooh, yeah!
Ooh. Alright. Yeah, see, I thought the boss was like right here where this dark patch is, and I was like, wait a minute. Alrighty, let's see what's... Oh, another mural for us to take in. Are they actually going to show it? Okay, so let's see. We have a picture of a Mochi, a tiger, I'm guessing Suzaku, with a bleeding arrow and some people.
This design is different. Rio, is it some kind of writing?
Let me see. Yes, it is. Just a second. It's about an ancient age. Human technology created the Dark Ones and their lord, who led all living things into the war of all wars. Man and monster all fell into the hands of the Dark Lord, and thus began the Dark Age. One day, a young girl and Lord Suzaku appeared. The girl, uniting all living things, led the battle against the Dark Lord. Finally, the Dark Lord fell, and dark turned to light. But Lord Suzaku crumbled, and the girl slept infinitely. I don't know why I said indefinitely originally. It's all about a long-lost age.
The Dark Ones? The Dark Lord? I've never heard of such things.
But I saw him in the vision, a towering black monster. I saw him! But why? What was that which I saw?
Rio, calm down! Let's go home for today. We can look for clues later.
More clues! Winter! Oh! Hey, Makuruji! The wise turtle of Promias. The wisdom comes from inside his shell.
You gotta sing it.
Inside his shell? Makuruji, what's that? Oh, Rio, how embarrassing. The weather is so nice, I thought I'd sing a song that I learned when I was young. No, I mean... What did you say about the about Promias? Oh, of course. The wise turtle of Promias. It's a monster that's also known as the living fossil. That's kind of rude. Monsters say that he knows all about past events and such. The wise turtle who's lived longer than even Makuruji. Maybe I could talk to that monster about...
Yeah! He might know about Rio's mystery. Let's check the Promios ruins once more!
In the next video! Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.